In a show of force, it was the furthest north of the demilitarized zone between North and South Korea that U.S. warplanes have flown in the 21st century. The Pentagon says that it was in response to North Korea's, quote, reckless behavior. This unfolding shortly before North Korea had its say at the UN General Assembly in New York City.
We are totally prepared for the second option, not a preferred option, but if we take that option, it will be devastating. I can tell you that, devastating for North Korea.
Tensions between North Korea and the US are at boiling point, with the rogue nation accusing Donald Trump of declaring war on their country.
Good morning. Tensions between the United States and North Korea are at crisis point, with North Korea accusing Donald Trump of declaring war. North Korea's foreign minister made the dire statement to reporters in New York, responding to a tweet the president sent yesterday, which said Kim Jong-un's regime won't be around much longer. Ri Yong-ho warned his country has every right to self-defensive countermeasures, including the right to shoot down US bombers, even if they're not in North Korean airspace.
As he left his hotel heading out of New York, North Korea's Foreign Minister Ri Yong-ho addressed reporters with a statement that further ramps up the tension with the US.
Last weekend, Trump claimed that our leadership wouldn't be around much longer, and hence at last he declared a war on our country. Given the fact that this comes from someone who is currently holding the seat of the United States presidency, this is clearly a declaration of war.
His latest comments go further than his address to the UN General Assembly 2 days earlier. He was clearly responding to President Trump's tweet after that speech, in which he referred to Little Rocket Man and warned they may not be around much longer. He also referred to a US show of force which took place just before he spoke on Saturday. US fighter jets and B-1 bombers flying close to North Korea's eastern coast, but still over international waters.
Since the US declared war on our country, we will have every right to make countermeasures, including the right to shoot down the United States strategic bombers, even when they're not yet inside the airspace of our country.
The Foreign Minister of DPRK said many things last week and this week, and
the Japanese ambassador to the United Nations among those who wouldn't publicly dignify the comments of the North Korean foreign minister with a response. Diplomats are hoping there can be a pause in the war of words, but with the constant provocations coming from North Korea and the instant replies on Twitter from President Trump, that seems a little unlikely. James Bays, Al Jazeera, at the United Nations.
The Pentagon was quick to respond to the threat, saying if North Korea does not stop its provocative actions, the president will be given options to deal with Pyongyang.